Hi, my name is Patricia Buell. I am going to be showing you guys my lesson plan for my final project. I had worked on my midterm IRI administration with a family member of mine whose name is Michael. His mother stressed that she didn't feel that her teacher was really understanding Michael's reading needs, and she felt that his teacher was saying he was at grade level, whereas when she would read with him at home, she felt like he was struggling a little bit. So I conducted the IRI, and Mom was indeed right. Michael tested to have below grade level a comprehension score. He really, once it got into testing at his own grade level, he was having trouble focusing and coming up with main ideas and characters as the reading got harder. So I wanted to create a lesson that just kind of helped him build his comprehension skills to help give him a little bit more confidence and understanding going into the third grade. So Michael is in a summer school program that Mom had put him in. He is working on the healthy food groups this summer, and I thought that I would do something a little bit similar, and I thought that I would pick a book that kind of just related to the topics that they were reviewing this summer. So I picked to read The Best Chef in the Second Grade by Catherine Kenna. I understand that Michael is going into the third grade, but he was scoring below grade level in the second grade range, so I decided to build on the skills that he already has rather than work on ones that he hasn't yet mastered. So the state standards I wanted to address with Michael and some of his classmates are the Common Core State Standards Literacy 2.4.A, read grade level text with purpose and understanding. So I'll be doing this as I start my lesson. The children will be getting opportunities to read and to read in a group and to read individually, and they will be being assessed both in the large group informally, and they will be being assessed formally in the one-on-one individual reading. So, and then the next standard they will be reviewing is the Common Core State Standard Literacy RI.2.1, ask and answer such questions as who, what, where, when, why, and how to demonstrate understanding of key details in a text. So the activity after we read, both in group and in silent group, we will do an activity to review the knowledge and the material we just had consumed, and we will be able to assess if they're able to answer the who, what, where's, why's, when, and how's. And if the students are able to do that, and then we will maybe extend the lesson a little bit further and make the words a little bit more challenging so they're able to comprehend a higher vocabulary words. And lastly, the Common Core State Standard we will be learning is Literacy RI 2.2, which is identify the main topic as well as focus on specific paragraphs within a text. So while we were doing the large group reading, these students will be being assessed when every page or two we will do a review of the information we have just absorbed. This will help to create understanding through the story. We don't want the students to get lost and feel lost when they get to the end of the story, ask them a bunch of questions. We want to have them have a full understanding as you go page by page. So make sure to review always. The first activity I'm going to be doing with you, it might be a little bit difficult to see because I don't have the physical book, is to begin the lesson, I would introduce that we're going to be doing reading, literacy. I always begin talking about literacy, and when we're going to be doing reading, I always stress about my own favorite books. I talk about how much I love to read, how much I feel like I relate to the story we're about to read, because I feel when you create this connection with your children, your students, they are like, oh, why is our teacher so curious? So I'm interested in to learn more about this book. So I have this video I found. It would be projected on the screen, and we would do a large group reading. So if you can see, the words come up, There would be no voice. The students would each be given an opportunity to read a page. If you can see closely, there is a pointer directing which words should be read. So I'm not going to read the book, but this is to give the children an opportunity to hear other students reading, hear them read other words, and this might help them understand certain words by hearing other people. I will obviously read the first couple of pages, and then I will dole out the pages amongst those who are volunteering and those who might be a little shy. Then when that activity is over, I will go into the silent reading. This is where the students will be given books, so they will have the physical book in their hand, and they will be able to read. I will be walking around the classroom, assisting any students that might look like they are struggling, and I will be going to the desk of the students, just assessing their reading, and I will say, oh, can you read that to me real quick? Just seeing if they're able to understand. Can you explain what's going on in the story right now? Oh, that's great. I'm so happy that you are able to understand that. I think that's a really good idea or a viewpoint. Then next, after these activities have been done, I have a summary. So we're going to be using a comprehension glove. So this glove helps visualize and helps the students gather their thoughts. So I've broken some of the symbols or words for the glove into groups. Obviously, I don't use this one, but I use something like this, a little bit more advanced in my classroom with pre-K with 3-year-olds. So in my classroom, I would use pictures when I'm asking a question or when I'm asking what was happening in this book. And then I have the house for setting. So these are things to just stimulate thoughts at an early age, and then that way when you're in 2nd grade, you're able to just continually build on knowledge rather than having to learn it all in one grade and in one sitting. So next for Michael, this would be more where he is at. They would be using words, the actual words, such as when, who, when, what, where, and why. This will help the students when they go to talk about whichever one they would want. If they're asked a question, it'll help them gather their thoughts when they're being assessed, to have a better understanding of what they're being asked. And then to extend the learning, if they're able to completely understand this, and throughout the year you should not only use this once, you should really make this as a skill and an easy way to have your students understand. I would next extend it by making the words a little bit harder. So, such as solutions. What was the solution? Or what was the problem? What was the main idea? What was the setting? So just try and make the words a little bit harder for the students to understand so you can expand their vocabulary. And then for English language learners, I have symbols or words such as cuando, when. So if the students are having a hard time understanding English words, they'll be able to see both. Donde, where, just to help connect and build bridges. So that is my lesson. If extending the lesson, I would have a conversation with my students and discuss the book in a conversational tone. I think this promotes ideas and relationships with your teacher and helps create your children to be really involved and want to learn in your classroom. And for Michael, I think that this would help him understand and break down the stories that he's reading to help him score higher on the comprehension. Thank you for listening to my lesson.